Hey everybody, this is Mr. Storm, and in this video we're going to talk about the press release power standard that you have to produce over the next couple of weeks. So I've opened up the press release template that I've provided for you. This is going to essentially help you to figure out how to create a press release. And I'm going to walk you through each step so that it's super easy for you to create your press release. Now, I'm using Microsoft Word to edit this because I have Word on my computer. If you don't have Word on your computer, you can open this up in Google Docs. It will work exactly the same way. So I'm going to enable editing so that I can actually make some changes to this thing. Alrighty. So the first thing I want to do is I want to set up for immediate release and then the date. Now, for us, really, you can set the date to whatever date you want. This is kind of just practice. We're not really going to send this out to anybody. But for a real press release for a real company, this date would be the date that you want them to actually publish this information. What a press release does is it sends out information to newspapers, to websites, to news organizations, and lets them know, hey, there's a new product. Here's the things that we want you to talk about with our new product, if you feel the need to do so, right? So you would send out this press release to, let's say, websites that specifically review products in your space, right? So if you are a publishing company, for example, and you want to let them know about a new novel that's coming out, you would send it to websites that, review novels. Or if you're a video game company and you want them to, advertise for your company and say, hey, there's this new video game coming out, you would send it to websites that specifically do that. But this date right here tells them when they're supposed to publish this content. Up here, you have your contact name, your organization, your agency or company, your phone number and email. Then the headline. The headline is one line only, and it's just, new video game from, whatever your company's name is, right? Something to that effect. Subhead, more detail as needed, so you can give more information here, but this is only one line. Don't go any farther than one line. So then you want to put the city and the state. So this would be the city and the state that your company belongs to, where you are headquartered. And then your announcement will go in here. You should lead with a strong first paragraph that clarifies what you're announcing, where, and its relevance to your industry, okay? Don't bury the lead. Doing so makes it harder. Now, this annoys me, okay? Lead, L-E-D-E, is a word that exists, but Microsoft Word doesn't recognize it as a word, and it bothers me because it says, hey, this is this is actually a real word. And in journalism, the lead is it's like the hook of the story, and you don't want to bury the lead somewhere in the middle of your story. You want the lead right up top, the most important information. So don't bury the lead. It makes it harder for reporters to figure out what you're doing and why this press release is important. So put the most important information in the first paragraph. The second paragraph is the best spot for quotes from people who have already reviewed this product. No reporter likes reading from a sea of people saying the same boring thing, right? So leverage your quotes to build the importance of your story, but also to shape your core messages. What is the core message of this press release? Whatever and wherever possible, include quotes from customers or partners who will benefit from the news, and avoid extreme exaggeration, right? Having your CEO say that your product is the next best thing. The next best thing to a rocket ship is typically a very bad idea unless you're Elon Musk. So here's the deal. If you, in this second paragraph, this is really for you to kind of embellish on your product a bit. Embellish is probably the wrong word. Expand on your product a bit and tell people why, basically prove that other people care about this product as well. Humans tend to be we're a very social species. And if I hear that someone likes a product, I'm much more likely to like that product as well. On the flip side, if I hear someone doesn't like a product, then I tend to have a more negative view of that product. Even if I have no reason to have a negative view or a positive view of something, if I know someone that I like and respect has a positive or negative review of view of something, it's going to color my intent or my impressions. So you want to put in here some positive quotes. Now, for the purposes of our project, this next couple of weeks, your product doesn't exist, right? And so your quotes aren't going to be real. You're going to make up some quotes from made-up people, or you can use real people if you want. In the third paragraph, it is often tempting. Why did they consider that? Do they want me to actually separate them out? Whatever. It's often tempting to add fluff that doesn't need to be here. It's also extremely tempting to bleed over to a second page by bolstering the third paragraph with company history, lore, and supporting expert opinions. Now, keep in mind, the goal of this release is to provide clear and concise information. You can always include more detail or links or additional testimonials, but you want to keep this third paragraph as small as possible. We want a press release to be 1 page. That's it, 1 page long. So nobody likes long, big blocks of text, so use bullets if you need to break up your information. Use language people actually understand. Don't use language that flies over their head or is full of a bunch of industry jargon. You want to use words that people will understand. And during your final edit, be honest with yourself whether or not you truly are focused on what's newsworthy about the announcement. If not, revise accordingly. Is the press release boring to you when you read it? If it is, it's going to be boring to journalists, and they're not going to want to actually write about your product. And then down at the bottom, you're going to put a 3 to 4 sentence description of the company along with a link to your homepage, and double check to ensure the first sentence accurately and clearly describes your business in a manner that could be easily lifted and translated by a reporter. So the last bit down here, you're going to talk about your company specifically, and you're going to put in a link to your webpage. Now, again, for our purposes, our webpage doesn't exist yet, but you can put a link to a fake webpage where your webpage would be, right? So for example, if your company's name is nerdshirts.com, meaning you have a website that creates shirts that are all nerdy in nature, like, video game logos and stuff like that, then you would put a link to a website called www.nerdshirts.com. Okay? And then, they would be able to click on it and go to your website. This is there's a lot of work that goes into this, but it's really not a big assignment, right? It's not a long assignment. There's not like a 15-page research paper, but it is important that you only put in here what you carefully have considered and what you've determined should be in here, okay? Remember, we're trying to get the word out about our product. We are not trying to bore people. We're trying to let them know about our product without wasting their time, okay? So that's your press release power standard. Please let me know if you have any questions. Remember, this is a power standard, so it's worth 70% of your grade. So please let me know if you need any help, and I'll be more than happy to assist you. All right, I'll see you next term. Thanks.